Yo, what up, nyakos? It's yo buddy Philko here reporting live for your mama's house. Doing my thing as I usually do. You guys know how I get down. And today I'm going to talk about something pretty fucking serious. Today I want to talk about the rape of Europe. Or at least that's what a lot of people are calling it. They're calling it the rape of Europe. So for those of you who don't know, I'm pretty sure everyone knows this basic information. I'd say for the past year or less, there's been a huge increase in the amount of refugees, mostly due to of immigrants in Europe, mostly due to the refugee crisis coming out of Syria. So because of that, because of the war going on in Syria, a lot of European countries decided to open the gates for a lot of people. But what a lot of people outside of Europe don't know is that only about 33% of the immigrants who came in are actually from Syria itself. A lot of them are from other North African and especially Arabic countries that aren't even involved with the Syrian conflict, but yet they're in Europe. They say about 60,000 refugees who went to Germany are now missing, undocumented. They have multiple passports, all this stuff. But you know what? None of that touches what I want to really talk about in this video. I want to talk about the picture you're seeing here. I'm not going to show the video, but I want to talk about the picture you see here. This is part of a game, apparently. I mean, it's fucked up. I'm not defending these guys in any way, but apparently it's a game called Taharrush. And what Taharrush is basically is when a bunch of dudes grab a chick and just start molesting the fuck out of her with overwhelming force. Absolute overwhelming force. This video you see here is on the internet. Just go look up Taharrush sexual attack. You see it. This actually, I believe this one happened in Europe. It might have been Germany during New Year's. This might have been one that was in Germany, happening to a German woman on New Year's Eve in Germany. So this one might be it. So you can go check it out. If I can find it, I'll put the link in the description. And so it's terrifying. You know, she's screaming. She's like, "Oh, help me!" She's just screaming at the top of her fucking lungs. But there's nothing no one could do. There's literally like 50 guys around her at least, like playing the game, and like hundreds of guys outside of that ring who are just, you know, making noise and shit, having fun. You know, and I can understand why any men would be angry in that country when it comes to the immigration thing. So let me get to it from my point of view, from the front to the back. First thing I'm going to do, just like that, remember that stripper video I made about hard dick money? I'm gonna do this version of it and call it that racist mentality. So instead of strippers using men for that hard dick money, don't let these people out there use this shit out there as some propaganda to make you a racist person. There's a lot of decent, smart people out there who understand that, yeah, sure, you may have too many immigrants. You may have taken them on too fast. They may be doing things, a lot of them, not all, but too many of them may be doing things in your country that you don't like, and you should address that. But once you take that to the point of like, oh yeah, Germany's for whites only and shit like that, you're going too far. Don't start a war. Don't start no shit. Won't be no shit. If you start it, you're going to lose again. That goes for any German person watching this, any European. Don't start that shit. America won't be on your side. Russia won't be on your side. You'll be divided in half again, I promise you. Don't even take it there. You have many, I guess I could say minorities in your country who don't do these things. Your problem isn't multiculturalism. That's not your problem. Maybe you had some issues with Muslims and stuff. Not just Muslims, but the extremist Muslims in your country who want Sharia law to take over the law and stuff. Maybe you've had some issues with them, but your problem really isn't multiculturalism. The shit that's going on now is because of a humongous influx of immigrants too fast. That's too fast. You know, a lot of these guys come from a culture and a background in which they rarely ever see women walking outside with their hair out. So they go from that to a country where women are wearing short shorts and all this crazy shit, bikinis in the beach, and you know, you don't expect a kind of crazy reaction to that. No, I'm being real. I'm not making an excuse for them at all. I'm not saying what they're doing is, I understand why the fuck they're doing it. They're horny. They have no sense of fucking self-control. But I'm not saying I agree with any of it. I understand it, but I don't agree with it. I get it. It's wrong. It's fucked up. They should all be kicked in the throat. I get it. I really do get it. But what I'm saying is, it was just too fast. But a lot of people are trying to take this to, we need another Hitler, we need to do this and that, we have too many immigrants, no more brown people. No, fuck that. There'll be brown people in your country. And there's nothing you can do about it. But what you can do is take care of the people there who commit crimes and who are there illegally. You have a lot of people who are there illegally. You need to take care of that. Now that goes for any country. Any country should be out there taking care of the people who are in their country illegally, but you have kind of a big ass problem out there in Europe, so you need to get on it now. But at the same time, you have to look out for those people who are trying to make this into something it's not. Europe for whites. Europe is not for whites. Europe is for anyone who's willing to be there and respect the laws. That's who Europe's for. That's exactly the same thing with America. I'm from America. I'd never tell Russians, or I'll never tell other type of people, hey, get out of here, it's not for you. No, if they're obeying the law, they can do what the fuck they want to do. You want to go to America and you want to try to have sex with 100 black girls in 1 month, go the fuck ahead. As long as you respect everybody, it's all good. That's what it's about. It's all about respect. Don't start no shit, won't be no shit. And right now, these guys out there in Europe, they're starting shit. They're starting shit by playing that game and molesting women in Europe. They're starting shit. And for the very few Muslims who actually get on camera and shit, talking about how they rape women in Germany, for the ones who get on camera in Britain talking about how Sharia law is going to take over the UK, they're all starting shit. See, that's the problem a lot of people have. You know, you may have a religion, but I don't give a fuck how much you believe in your shit. Your shit is your shit. Don't try to force your shit on other people. Don't try, oh, Allah will rule everybody. No, Allah will rule you and your people. Let us go to hell. We don't need your message. If Allah's all powerful and loving and stuff, we got the message from him, but we didn't listen to it. That's not your problem. When you're in a different land, you respect the laws of the land. If you don't like the laws of the land, you shouldn't be there. I love the laws of the land in Russia, but if the law of the land in Russia one day became no interracial dating, I'd be out of here, because I wouldn't be down with that. But that's not the law. The law in Russia is you can date whoever the fuck you want if they're 16 or over. But I do 18 though. I don't like 16. That's a little too young. You see what I mean? So it's all about respect. And when I say respect, I don't just mean for a person. I also mean for the land. And usually the way you respect the land is by obeying the law. You know, laws are in place for a reason. It's like, there may be some things in our country that you do that we won't like. But these things here, we forbid. And if you do it, we're going to punish you. That's what laws are about. That's what it's all about. You know, and once you break those laws, especially when you do it knowingly, especially some like molestation or something that's obviously illegal, like I don't mean crossing the street or making the right turn on the red light. I'm talking about things that are violent, things that just cross the border of respect with a normal person, and you know what you're doing is fucking wrong. Those are the things that shouldn't be acceptable. And I understand the anger from pissed off German or Europeans. But what I want to say to you guys is what you need to do is you need to protect the citizens of your country, regardless of their race. So if you're out there thinking we got to protect the white people, you're going to fuck up the movement for your whole country. Tommy Robinson, I think he's going to be the leader of Europe in about a year if things keep going this way. I've been watching Tommy Robinson stuff for years, and it's so interesting and cool to me now that he's becoming so famous. Tommy Robinson is basically he's the leader of the Pegida movement, like people against radical Islamization, whatever the hell, in the UK. But he's also been invited to many countries in Europe to make speeches. He's gonna be the new like European leader guy for like the underground, not underground, but for the far right who want to get rid of all the influx of immigrants and blah blah blah. He's the leader. Now this guy's a smart guy, and I actually like this guy. You know, a lot of people see him as a racist and stuff, but he's not. Well, I'm not gonna say he's not, but from what he's saying, he's not. From what he's saying, and from what he does, to me, he's not either. What kind of racist person you know has to fucking fight neo-Nazis all the time? This dude is hated by both sides. Tommy Robinson is hated by the neo-Nazis, and he's hated by the extreme Muslims. That's telling you something. He's not saying what people want to hear. He's saying what he honestly believes. And usually, the truth is usually somewhere in the middle. That's why both extremes hates him. That's exactly why both extremes hate him. But in the middle, he's generally liked. He's generally liked from the the basic lefters, the basic lefties, and the basic righties. They basically understand that he's a guy who's kind of in the middle. Now, I mean, if anything, he's definitely on the right. He'd have more people from the right who agree with him, because his message is basically, I have Islamic friends. You can see me. I have Islamic people with me at my marches. I'm not against Islam. I'm against the ideology of it taking over Europe and taking over the UK. I'm completely against that. We have our culture. We don't want it to change for anybody. I should be able to walk down the street without getting attacked for having freedom of speech and all this stuff. And like, I've seen this guy get beat up, twice on YouTube. You can see him just getting his ass kicked everywhere he goes by either Muslims or neo-Nazis, because he used to be the leader of a group called the EDL, English Defense League. And he left it because he said there are too many racists in there. He spent years fighting neo-Nazis and fighting these skinheads for making him and his people look bad, but then he was arrested, and at a march from his organization, 2 marches they had while he was in jail, they invited Nazis and skinheads there, which made him look bad, so he left the organization and said, fuck you guys, I don't want to be like you. And what sucks about it is, I made a video about Tommy Robinson, like not too long ago on my other channel. I might upload it here. What I said is that racists are going to ruin Tommy Robinson's reputation. He's never really going to get anywhere, because whenever he says something like, we have to protect Europe, we have to protect the UK from extremists and people out there who are raping our women, doing all this stuff, there's always going to be someone in the crowd to say Sieg Heil. Always. Oh, there's always going to be someone who's going to take his message as a white power kind of thing. Always. Even though he's not saying that shit at all. Because he talks about how Sikhs are great usually in the community. Sikhs, they blend in, they don't cause trouble. Jews blend in, they're great, they don't cause trouble. Blacks blend in, they're great, they don't cause trouble. He says these things, but then he goes, but for some reason, when I walk through an Islamic neighborhood, somebody's holding a cross or something like that, they got a problem. When our soldiers walk down the street, the only people protesting against our soldiers are the Muslims and all this stuff. That's what he's saying. So he's against extreme Islam. But he's not about white this, white that. But his followers there's always going to be a group of his followers who take the message like that and ruin his reputation. And especially with the videos of these women being molested and raped in the street, it's going to make it easier for these guys to make him look bad by saying white power. And there's actually nothing he can do about it. There's nothing he can do about it. There's nothing he can do about it. There might actually be a civil war in Russia. This will never happen in Russia. I'm not going to say never, but the next 10, 20 years, nah. But this ain't a Russian problem, and it won't be a Russian problem. Not as long as Kadyrov's in charge. That's never going to be a Russian problem. I mean, not in charge of Russia, but I mean in charge of basically the Muslims in Russia. Because unlike the UK, unlike Russia, the UK and Europe, they don't really have any powerful Muslim leaders to speak to these people. They don't have any out there. They don't have any positive, strong, influential Muslim leaders out there. In Russia, they have it. So in Russia, not going to have that problem. There were a group of Russian men, like on camera, going around molesting women and stuff and playing this Taharrush game. They would be handled by other Muslims. They would be handled quick, fast. They will be handled quick, fast. So this isn't going to be a Russian problem. It's not going to be a problem in America either, because we got too many guns. Niggas will get shot. And I'd be one of the niggas shooting if I was there. If I woke up in Queensbridge Projects, looked outside the window, saw a bunch of Muslim people harassing some black chick, I'm going to have to wait till they make some space so I can start shooting into the fucking crowd and they don't trample her when she's out the way. Niggas are getting shot. And that's it. There's nothing to talk about. There's no reason to talk when I see a bunch of fucking, especially, no offense, I'm not being racist, but a bunch of different types of dudes. Just, they ain't even black, they ain't even from here, and they outside like harassing random black girls. Niggas is getting shot. That's it. I'm going to jail. Congratulations. But niggas is getting shot and I'm filming it. You're getting shot in America when you're raping and doing all this shit to women out in public, making it a game. I got a game for you. It's called Dodge This Bullet. That's what I'm going to play. So I understand how the men feel in this country. I get it. I get it. But don't get it twisted. This isn't a race issue. It's not a race issue. It's a cultural issue. And you have to address it. There's no strong Muslim leaders in these countries. They need that. They need strong Muslim leaders to listen to look up to, and even who to fear. They don't have it in Europe. They're not going to fear you because you're of a different culture. It's not so much about your look as that you're of a different culture. A lot of Muslims feel that, Sharia law is the shit. Not just that, but they follow Allah. And if you don't even have that same belief, a lot of them won't take you that seriously. They don't respect your police that much. And this isn't all, but this is too many. I'm gonna tell you straight up and down, there's too many. You can say not all Muslims, I get it, but there's too fucking many in these countries who act like that. Just go look at Britain first. Go to Britain First YouTube page. Look at them walking through the street as Muslims yelling at them, telling them Islam will take over. This is our country now. That's just fucking wild. And all that because a bunch of people are walking down the street with a Christian cross. You can't act like that in other people's countries, man. I got another video to make about after this because a lot of black people are going to Ukraine and Russia now, and because of me and shit. And I gotta make some videos for these guys. I gotta give them the basic rundown on what not to fucking do when you're out there to not fuck up our reputation. Cause I'm gonna tell you just like this. The reason why a lot of white dudes are mad that I do what I do because they know that we're cool. We're cool in their country. We're cool to their women. We don't have to go around raping and we don't have to do any of that. It's easy for us to get women in their country. That's why a lot of them are mad. We're cool out there. Especially when you're from America or something like that. We're cool, we're unique, we're exotic. We don't have to do any of that shit at all. We're cool. I'm gonna get to that in another video, but yeah, the rape of Europe, they're calling it the rape of Europe. It's kind of fucked up. In some country, 90% or more of the rape in the country are done by Muslim men and shit. And after seeing these fucking videos and shit, what am I supposed to think? Am I supposed to think it's just propaganda after watching these videos? You know what I mean? It's fucking crazy, man. It's crazy. It's pretty fucking crazy. And a lot of far right wingers or whatever have been complaining about this problem for years. If I say like last 2 years, they've been complaining about it. And I've been watching it on YouTube, So yeah, man, let me know what you think. I don't know what I think the Europeans should do is stop having politicians who are afraid of looking racist and get politicians in there who are willing to just do what needs to be done for the citizens of the country. Not for the race, you dick face. You're not going to win that. You're going to get spanked again. But for the citizens of the country, regardless of the race or the religion. You understand? And that's basically it, guys. I'm out of here. Later.